Hello and welcome to this QLTS School presentation on an introduction to the Qualified Lawyers Transfer Scheme. In this presentation, we will go through an overview of the QLTS, the fast-track route to becoming an English solicitor, and you will find out how to prepare and pass the assessments on your first attempt with QLTS School. What is the QLTS? It is the way for international lawyers to dual qualify as English solicitors. There is no experience or training requirement, although you must meet the SRA's criteria in terms of the jurisdiction in which you are currently qualified. The QLTS is regulated by the Solicitors Regulation Authority, or SRA, and administered by Kaplan QLTS. And the QLTS replaced the previous Qualified Lawyers Transfer Test regime in 2011. Why become an English solicitor? You can work as a qualified solicitor of the Supreme Court of England and Wales, a title that carries significant international prestige. You can unlock new career opportunities in the UK or throughout the world. You can enhance your professional profile, your reputation and your marketability in your home jurisdiction with this prestigious qualification and title. You can offer a wider range of legal services to your clients as you can provide English law advice. You can gain a foothold in the EU market, and you can win more business and increase your revenues. What are the QLTS assessments and how are they structured? The QLTS assessments are into two parts. Part 1 is the multiple choice test. This is delivered entirely online and it is taken at a Pearson test centre in one of many test centres across the world. It tests outcomes A1 to A11 of the SRA's Day 1 criteria, consisting of 180 multiple choice questions divided into one morning and one afternoon session, each of 2 hours and 45 minutes, 90 questions per session. Part 2 is the Objective Structured Clinical Examination, or Oski. This is the practical assessment and tests 5 skills with a single pass mark for both of the subparts of this second part of the assessment. Part 1 tests the practical legal skills of interviewing and advocacy or oral presentation. Part 2 tests the legal skills of online legal research, legal drafting, and legal writing. Part 2 tests the skills in each of the areas of business law, civil and criminal litigation, and property and probate. It is based on the practical assessment used for medical students, because in the same way that a medical student needs to demonstrate that they can take blood from a patient for a sample, a lawyer needs to demonstrate that they possess and can demonstrate the practical legal skills expected of solicitors. Let's look at the rules of the QLTS assessments. Part 1, the MCT, must be passed before Part 2, the Oski, is attempted. There is no limit on the number of attempts allowed at each of the 2 parts of the assessments, nor is there a time limit for completing the 2 assessments within a certain time period. Exemptions can only be granted by the SRA to EEA and intra-UK lawyers. Lawyers from other jurisdictions cannot obtain exemptions, and candidates are not allowed to use any materials during the assessments. These are entirely closed book assessments. The assessments are offered twice a year in London, United Kingdom. The MCT is also offered, as mentioned before, at Pearson test centres in other countries across the world, including in the United States, South Africa, Russia, Brazil, Singapore, Hong Kong, India, Johannesburg, Dubai, and in several cities in Europe. The next available MCTs will be on the 8th of July of 2020 and the 13th of January 2021. Part 2, the Oski, will be offered during July and November of 2020. There are no formal steps to follow prior to sitting the assessments other than registration, and a list of qualified lawyers in recognised jurisdictions is available on the SRA's website. There is no prerequisite to have undertaken a preparation course with a QLTS course provider prior to sitting the QLTS assessments. But why would it be beneficial to do so? Well, for an analogy, think back to when you undertook your driving test. Before you sat the test itself, you used an instructor and went out for practice lessons. The instructor guided you on how to use the car, the rules of the road, and the correct driving technique. If you simply turned up for the assessment, trying to figure things out on your own, your chances of passing were much lower than if you had used an instructor. The same applies to the QLTS. For a start, Kaplan QLTS, which administers the assessments, is prohibited from itself providing preparation courses. The syllabus is fairly comprehensive and covers the entire corpus of English law. It is often likened to the equivalent of undertaking a full-time postgraduate degree in law in a very short amount of time. The MCT has no specific or predetermined pass mark. There are no past papers available. The pass mark is determined by a standard-setting panel convened by the SRA based on very rigorous and robust criteria. This means that the pass rate for each MCT is different. You therefore must excel and score a higher mark than average in order to pass. And the Oski is a very unique and practical assessment. You cannot adequately prepare for the Oski just by reading a book. Let's look at some historical data as evidence as to why you're better preparing with QLTS School than other preparation courses. The average pass rate for 3 consecutive sittings of the MCT was 57%. A research study conducted by ICF International in 2013 and 2014, an independent and unbiased research firm, confirmed that the pass rate of QLTS School's candidates was about double the rate or more compared to non-QLTS School candidates. Around 75% of those who pass the MCT prepare with one of QLTS School's MCT courses, and the vast majority of QLTS School candidates pass the first time. Independent evidence that you have a better chance of passing the assessments on your first attempt with QLTS School. As a visual example of the data we just discussed, we have set this out in visual form. The conclusion is that taking QLTS School's preparation course will significantly improve your prospects of success. In addition, QLTS School's preparation courses are comprehensive, affordable, and flexible. You can study whenever, wherever, and however you want. Our courses and our support are entirely remote-based. There are no classes to attend in person and no pre-scheduled courses that you need to attend and rearrange your schedule for. The emphasis is on you, the candidate, working to your schedule. This covers both parts of the QLTS. Our tutors and administrative staff have attended the SRA seminars that were held in London since the introduction of the QLTS in 2011 and are in regular contact with the SRA and constantly kept up to date with the latest developments in the evolution and administration of the QLTS. And the course reflects the SRA's current and constantly updated syllabus and skills requirements and combines comprehensive and professionally written textbooks, extensive online resources, and tutor support. QLTS School is exclusively focused and dedicated to all our resources being put into making sure we offer you the best possible QLTS preparation materials. The clue is in the name. This means competitive pricing, dedicated support, and extensive QLTS-focused training materials. You don't need to go anywhere else. We give you everything you need, no more, no less. Our expertise comes from the fact that we have been offering the QLTS since its introduction in 2011. We provide training for both individual candidates and the world's leading law firms. Our hand-picked expert tutors and support team have the experience from looking after candidates just like you and knowing the assessments well so that we can best prepare and support you. And we heavily invest in our course materials and we act fast to adjust ourselves to changes, whether that's in the law that you're studying or the assessments themselves. QLTS School will offer you one of the most flexible preparation courses you've ever come across. Using the latest technology, we deliver the course that allows you to study on your terms, full-time, part-time, anytime. Our course materials are regularly updated, and when they are, we send you updates by email as well as making them available through our systems. This means you are up to the minute on the law that you need to know to pass the assessments. And we have a proven track record of success. with our candidates being twice as high and twice as likely as non-QLTS School candidates, according to the independent research that we conducted, in passing the assessments. But don't just take our word for it. Check out our testimonials of candidates who passed all of the assessments on their first attempt and are now enjoying successful careers as English solicitors. Let's look in a bit more detail at the MCT course offered by QLTS School and what's included. On your screen, you can see a snapshot of our textbooks updated for the 2020 edition of the assessments. These are printed in hard copy and delivered to you wherever you are in the world, so that you have a physical resource to refer to when you're undertaking your preparation. In addition to the textbooks, you will receive a comprehensive QLTS course handbook which sets out exactly what is expected of you in each assessment, how the assessments are structured, and how they're assessed. We recommend reviewing this before you undertake your preparation so that you're fully informed as to what is involved on your journey and what will happen at the assessments. We understand the drudgery and the frustration of preparing your own revision notes, a time-consuming exercise. This is why QLTS School has done the hard work for you, and we include pre-written revision notes summarising the key points and main legal principles in an easily accessible format. In addition, you'll have access to our over 1,500 multiple choice questions on our online training system, 2,500 digital flashcards, 15 mock tests which can be timed in a similar format to the MCT themselves, free periodic updates for the course materials, an online video library with over 100 online tutorials and over 35 hours of lectures, 2 hours of tutor support, either in writing or by telephone with an experienced tutor dedicated to the subject matter in which you require assistance, and initial guidance and a tailor-made study plan with some of our courses. All of these materials are accessible through our 24/7 training system, which can be accessed if you have a computer and an internet connection. Let's look at a couple of sample questions, which are similar to the types of questions you may encounter on the MCT. Have a look at the question on the screen. It consists of a fact pattern, a question stem, and 5 possible answers. Pause this video, have a look through the possible answers, and once you've made your decision as to which one you think is correct, resume the video to find out the answer. The best answer was C. Did you get it right? As you can see, the answer doesn't just include what the correct answer is, but why it's the correct answer. This will help you understand why you got it right, why you might have got it wrong, and ways to calibrate your preparation so that you are able to maximize your time, have the confidence you need to succeed, and better prepare. Let's look at another sample question, this time on tort. As before, have a look at the question, pause the video, and then choose what you think is the correct answer. Then resume the video for the correct answer. The correct answer for this question was E. As before, we set out what the correct answer is and why. As you can see, the answers are not straightforward and require you to not only know the law, but to apply it to a particular situation. QLTS School's training materials don't just help you know the law, they help you understand how to apply the law. Let's now turn to the Oski course. This is the practical assessment, which aims to test a higher level of knowledge, understanding and ability to accurately advise clients in all 3 legal practice areas, using a variety of skills. It is assumed that you already know what the law is. Now you are assessed on your ability to demonstrate that you have the legal skills to put that into practice. It's based on the assessment system used for medical students, with an emphasis on practice, not just theory. The skills of interviewing, advocacy or oral presentation, legal writing, legal drafting, and online legal research are each assessed through various in-person simulated legal environments known as stations, and during your assessment days you will rotate through these stations. The techniques to create these stations include the use of trained actors that interview clients and access to professional online legal databases for the written exercises. You should understand not only the black letter law, but the relevant legal principles, and be able to explain those to the client, argue those in a mock hearing, know which documents to use, and also to draft various documents yourself when needed. The purpose of the Oski is to bridge the gap between your academic study of the 3 practice areas, foundation subjects and legal skills, and the only way you can do that is through practicing experience. The preparation, just like the assessment itself, emphasises practice over theory. This is why you cannot adequately prepare for the Oski course just by reading textbooks. So our personalised preparation courses are available with an expert tutor guiding you from day one through a programme customised especially for your particular goals and needs. Each candidate is different, and that's why we will prepare a course that's right for you. Our expert tutors are drawn from qualified solicitors and barristers, senior university lecturers, and SRA external examiners on the legal practice course, giving you a wide range of experts who know not just for law and the practice, but also the assessment. QLTS School's Oski preparation courses include everything you need to tackle the Oski and prepare with confidence. It includes an initial interview with one of our senior tutors to assess your experience, level of training required, and to discuss any initial questions that you may have with regards to the practical assessments on the course. We'll be realistic and work around your time commitments, your learning needs, and your level of preparation and confidence. After this initial interview, you will receive a detailed, tailor-made study plan prepared by the tutor, designed specifically to meet your personal needs and requirements. You'll receive an Oski course guide, which shows you what is required, how you are assessed, and how to undertake each station. And you'll also receive Oski practice area summaries, around 200 pages in total, covering the essential elements of the law and practice of property law and probate, civil and criminal litigation, and business law. It's important to note that whilst you will undertake the fundamentals of the black letter law in these areas in your MCT, the level of law on which you are assessed in the Oski is at a higher standard than that with which you were assessed for the MCT, and also includes a heavy emphasis on the practice of the law, not just the theory. Throughout your preparation for the Oski, you will receive expert guidance and direct contact with your tutor, as well as responses to general academic inquiries in the relevant legal areas. You'll also have access to up to 250 mock exams with suggested solutions so that you can self-assess at your own pace, covering all legal practice areas and skills tested on the Oski assessment. We'll also provide you with mock practice stations, which are one-to-one tutor support for all of the 5 skills. So 1 practice mock assessment in interviewing, advocacy and oral presentation, legal drafting, and so on. Each mock practice station will be personally marked by one of our senior tutors who will give you substantive feedback based on the SRA marking criteria to help you prepare for the assessment. As with the MCT, you will receive free periodic updates for the course materials as either the assessment changes or the relevant law changes. You'll also have access to a series of legal research videos so that you can familiarise yourself with and quickly use the relevant legal databases. You can also have access to QLTS Skills Online, an innovative and interactive online support tool with more than 60 exercises, covering the skills required on the Oski assessment. And you can also have access to a legal skills video workshop, depending on your course subscription, which gives you access to a suite of more than 100 video workshops, spanning almost 20 hours of video, and summaries with key points to further hone your legal skills and increase your preparation and confidence. How do you know which of QLTS School's MCT courses is right for you? The image on your screen shows each of the features offered with our basic, advantage and premium packages. All of them include the 11 textbooks, the practice questions, the handbook, free updates, revision notes. You'll also have access to the mock tests for each of the packages. The Advantage course also includes our video library. Our Premium course includes 2 hours of tutor support, the initial guidance and customized study plan, and more mock tests than the Basic course. In our experience, most candidates elect for the Advantage course, offering the mix of self-study, additional resources, and the additional mock tests. For our Oski preparation course, we also offer Basic, Advantage and Premium courses depending on the level of materials and support that you might require. All of our packages offer the initial interview with the dedicated tutor, the customized study plan, course guide, QLTS Skills Online, ongoing expert tutor interaction and guidance, and the practice area summaries. In addition, Advantage subscribers will benefit from the legal skills video workshops and the mock exams for self-assessment in greater numbers than basic subscribers. They will also receive access to 2 mock stations, that's the one-to-one tutor-assessed stations, and premium subscribers will receive access to 250 mock exams and 4 mock stations. If you're still not sure whether QLTS School's preparation courses are right for you, have a look on our website and our success stories. We undertook interviews with some of our successful candidates from across the world who passed the QLTS assessments on their first attempt. As well as describing their experience in preparing with QLTS School, they also share with you their own tips, strategies and advice to help you prepare and pass first time. We at QLTS School hope that this brief overview has provided you with the basic information that you need about what the QLTS is, how it is structured, how best to prepare, and what QLTS School's preparation courses offer you. But if you have further questions, please feel free to contact us using any of the contact details on this screen. We also have a LinkedIn group with more than 15,000 members where you can ask advice and speak to fellow candidates. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and we look forward to supporting you in the next step on your career path.